Donald Trump just experienced something he almost never does, being confronted directly to his face, not by a reporter who he can bully into silence, and not by a foreign leader offering subtle diplomatic shade, but by a pastor who openly called him out for his attacks on Americans, particularly those in Minnesota. This happened at the D.C. prayer breakfast, where Trump bizarrely opened his remarks by lashing out at the audience and complaining that he wasn't getting into heaven, somehow blaming the fake news for it. Things only unraveled further from there, as Trump later appeared to lose his ability to stay coherent. We're going to break all of it down, including the powerful moment when the pastor confronted him, but I want to start where Trump did, with that unhinged rant about heaven, grievance, and persecution that set the tone for the entire event.
And you know, I never get a fair break from the fake news, which is back there. That's a lot of fake news. Because last time I was having a lot of fun. We had a big crowd. We had 60,000 people, and I'm talking about the fact that I will never make it to heaven. I will never, ever. And I was being funny. I was trying to be, you know, you can't be sarcastic with them because they write your words, and they don't, the people who are reading the words are much different. But I say, I'm never going to make it to heaven. I just don't think I qualify. I don't think there's a thing I can do, but all of these good things I'm doing, including for religion, you know, religion's back now hotter than ever before. I mean, I have to tell you. But I said, even though I did that and so many other things, I named things, I said, I won't qualify. I'm not going to make it to heaven. And the New York Times did a front page story that Donald Trump is questioning his life and the meaning of his life. No, I was just having fun. I really think I probably should make it. I mean, I'm not a perfect candidate, but I did a hell of a lot of good for perfect people. That's for sure. Right, Mr. Speaker?
Yes. Nothing says prayer breakfast like opening your remarks by complaining that last time you didn't get favorable media coverage for saying you weren't getting into heaven. How exactly are we supposed to interpret that? Trump's defense is always the same. They take my words and use them against me. But the truth is, as a country, we've grown dangerously numb to Donald Trump. We've heard his rants so often that they sometimes don't fully register anymore until you see them written down. That's why you'll often hear people on MSNBC or CNN say, I read the transcript and it was insane. Trump knows this too. When his words are printed, stripped of the chaos and shouting, their full meaning hits harder. It's no longer just him yelling like a fool, something we've unfortunately gotten used to, though we never should have. And that context matters, especially when you look at what the pastor said immediately after Trump decided to turn the prayer breakfast into yet another attack on Democrats.
It polls at 97%, and even the Democrat, the people, the voters, are at 82% for voter ID, but the leaders don't want to approve it. They said they will strike, they will not allow it to happen. It's polling at over 90%. It's called voter identification. When you go to the polls, you show, yes, my name is so-and-so, and I live in the country. I'm here, I can vote. They say, that's not allowed. And no, everyone's trying to figure it out. And they do something to win. You know what it is? They cheat. But let's get on to another subject.
All right, Donald. Last time at the prayer breakfast, you complained that you weren't getting into heaven, so why not raise the stakes this time and just start attacking people outright? That's essentially what he did, launching into grievances about Democrats wanting people to vote, as if participation is some moral failure, and twisting Christianity into something about exclusion and shrinking the circle. It was classic Trump, defensive, bitter, and completely out of place. He even veered off into one of his awkward, rambling jokes, proving once again he can't read a room to save his life. And then something truly unexpected happened. Trump actually got called out by a pastor right there to his face. It was incredible. Trump sat behind him, absolutely seething, looking furious as the pastor spoke. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't burst into flames on the spot.
Without you, none of us can adjudicate the overwhelming details of leadership and life. Today we pray for America and we pray for all parliamentarians around the world. The book of Timothy teaches us that you've been entrusted with leadership. Today we pray for the future of this nation and that you would lead this president into greater levels of compassion for your name's sake. We pray that you would protect him from the iniquities of evil and that you would give him greater clarity, greater courage, and greater capacity to do what is right in the forever challenges. Today we remind him that the lives of millions of people are in his hands and that he has the power to turn mourning into dancing or to reduce the country into a cosmic elegy of chaos and suffering. And it is because of this that we pray that the best of this president would rise among us. For the sake of this nation, for the sake of this world, we pray that goodness and mercy would announce themselves in his life in new and powerful ways. We pray that he would be mindful of the poor and that he would be invested in the elevation, the alleviation of suffering happening on farms in the Midwest, in the families preparing to bury their loved ones in Minneapolis. Remind him that we are all Americans, all made in the image of God, and that none of us are free unless all of us have our freedoms protected. Many people are not lazy. Many people are simply tired. Many people simply are not okay. Matthew 25 teaches us that that our gifts are given from God and that we should show them with compassion towards others.
Oh my God, I cannot believe that actually happened. Someone actually had the courage to stand up and call out Donald Trump while he had no choice but to sit there and take it. Trump is rarely confronted like that, especially not in front of a crowd. And let's be clear. After Caitlin Collins was attacked by Trump for not smiling enough while discussing Epstein's survivors, not a single member of the mainstream media stepped in to defend her. Journalists need to stand up for one another. Yet it's often just me, Brian Tyler Cohen, and a few others calling out this absurdity. J.D. Vance even mocked Caitlin Collins afterward. It's disgusting. But that's exactly why moments like this matter. Trump didn't burst into flames and he wasn't struck down by God. But things didn't go much better for him. He tried to play the charming host, looking for approval from world leaders, including the president of Congo, whose name he didn't even know. And that, folks, is the point. Just take a look at this ridiculous clip.
And we're joined today by a very, very brave and wonderful man, the president of the Congo, President, would you stand up, please? You are so... President, thank you. And you really are, you're a brave man. I know what you've been through. I know that one very well. That was a hard one. That was many, many years. And it's working out okay. Nothing's easy. Every once in a while I have to call them both back, but it's working out okay. It's going to work out good. But you are brave, and we appreciate you being here. Great honor. Great honor. Good guy. Together, he and I have...
Mr. President, you're so Hey, President, you're so president. We love how president you are. And you've always been so president. That's what I like most about you, how president you are. Then they said, you're the president. And he responded, wow, that's fantastic. It's the president. Stand up. Which one are you? Honestly, what a mess. What a racist. What an idiot. Truly an idiot. It looked like he forgot the person's name, forgot how to speak, or maybe he just refused to pronounce it from the teleprompter. He kept rambling. Where's the president? Wow, you look so president-y. Don't we love that? The world leaders sitting there couldn't hide their frustration, and Trump even acknowledged it himself. He knows they can't stand him, and this clip shows exactly why.
Sad thing, and I tell it. I went over to Davos. They invited me, and when I left, they said that may have been the stupidest invitation we ever gave to somebody, Switzerland. But they have to. I just say it like it is. They're destroying their country. Their energy is ridiculous, what they've done, and the immigration is, I'm telling you, it's a It's a place where many of these countries are not recognizable, and I'd like to see them straighten it out. Very soon, it's going to be impossible for them to straighten it out. We have our director of...
Yes, Donald, you're right. World leaders did not want you at Davos. Nobody wanted you at their events. You're a pariah among the world's leaders. And it seems like Trump is slowly starting to realize it. Remember his little peace summit? No one wanted to attend. No one wanted to sign on to his peace board, and certainly no one wanted to hand him $1 billion for peace. He tried to grift off a genocide. Surprise, surprise, Donald. Moronic. Yet he rarely admits it. That's why he opened his speech whining about not getting into heaven. So much of Trump's life is about legacy. What will people say after he's gone? And now he's realizing it's going to be bad. That's why he's rushing to build monuments to himself, a grand arch, a ballroom, a board of peace, a peace prize, anything to secure his legacy while he can. He knows airports, highways, or a big library aren't coming, and frankly, he can't read anyway, nor can most of his supporters. This obsession with cementing himself into history is also why he attacks D.C. so fiercely, cheering it on publicly just like he did in this speech.
You know, we took out 2,000 monsters out of Washington, D.C. It's not just that we have the troops, and they are central casting. I love them. I think, to me, it looks much more beautiful. You walk down the street, you have three guys that are 6'6" and angry-looking people, but they actually are very nice. They're angry when they see criminals, that's all. They get angry. They took Tren de Aragua, and honestly, I don't want to say this, but they beat the crap out of them. They beat the crap out of them. They found that they were doing bad things, and Tren de Aragua didn't want anything to do with these guys. Then we put them in the paddy wagon. We took them back to where they came from. You know that. But we took out over 2,000 hardcore criminals. You know, 2% of the population produces 90% of the violent crime. Think of that.
Yeah, it's no surprise that Donald Trump enjoys seeing troops in the streets. That's hardly shocking to anyone, but we're going to keep calling it out on this show. I still can't believe that even happened at a prayer breakfast. We'll keep holding it up for what it is. If you want to support that work, hit the subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and if you made it to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.